And next up at UFC London, we've got Losene Keita taking on Nathaniel Wood. Carlos, who you got in this one?
Going to be difficult just because of this debut, but I'm going to take Keita to get it done. And against someone like Nathaniel Wood, I might be regretting it because he's been taking prospects and putting them down one after the other. Um, he's obviously very technical. Uh, he's talented enough to get those guys out of there. He's got good movement. He's got good strikes. He's very good on the ground. And that's also another thing where it poses a problem for Keita because uh, he's not the best on the ground. He usually uses a little bit of strength and his athleticism to get back to his feet. My only issue is Wood, like sometimes he gets caught in the beginning of the fight and he gets rocked and he comes back and then he's okay. Like he needs something to wake him up every now and again. But I do think Keita is going to be a little bit of a problem size-wise. He's got a big back, good sized shoulders and stuff for the division. And I don't know if Wood is going to be able to use just the wrestling to get him down. I think he's going to have to time something, make him overextend, get inside, get in the clinch, get some type of a foot sweep, some trips, something to get him down that he just doesn't see coming. And in that clinch setup, I think Keita's actually just going to bully him in there. And do I think Keita's going to land a bomb to hit someone like Wood? I don't think so. I don't know how big his power is. I've seen some fights where he lands clean on guys and it doesn't have that big of effect. But he moves a lot and he pressures a lot. And when you get Nathaniel Wood going backwards, it's where he has an issue. And Keita's that kind of guy. Unless you can hurt him, and you don't see it very often. Like he doesn't really go backwards. So to keep Wood off on his back foot, pressure him, force him to shoot, force him to throw when he's not ready to, I think that kind of gives Keita the advantage. So I'm going to take him. Confidence level in this one isn't too great just because he's debuting against someone like Wood, but I think he can probably squeak this out. I think he can get it done.
Give me Nathaniel Wood here. I'll have a bit of dissension here when we break these fights down. I do think that Keita is a nice addition to the UFC. Obviously, he was supposed to come in and fight Pitbull. He didn't make weight in that one. That bout got cancelled. And until he can make 145 consistently here in the UFC, fighting these guys, I'm fading him until he proves me otherwise. Good athlete, loads up on his shots. I do think that Wood can mix in the grappling here, and that's how he's going to get it done. My only real concern here is with Nathaniel Wood. He has nice boxing. He will mix in the grappling. He's been on a nice, kind of win streak recently, but he tends to get clocked in most of his fights. He tends to get hit, and he kind of wakes him up, like Carlos mentioned, and that's the one thing I do kind of have concerns about here against Keita. Keita does crack. He does have a lot of power. He's big for the division, and I do think that, if 1+1 as a breakdown could be anything, is that Keita could definitely come in here, land a big shot early, walk him down, and ultimately get the stoppage. But I'm going to say that Wood, kind of wears on him and mixes in the grappling, kind of drags him into deep waters, takes that power away, and let's see, kind of what the weight cut looks like as well. If he's having a tough weight cut and struggling to make 145, he can really wear on that gas tank and kind of, get him out of there maybe late in the late second or third with the ground game or with, some sort of ground and pound, TKO victory here. And I think realistically that Nathaniel Wood's experience here could show. He could either come in here and get clocked, or he could come in here and ultimately fight a smart game plan. It's just going to be whether he can get the respect of Keita. Keita, like Carlos mentioned, he walks his opponents down, well, a lot of the time with disdain. He doesn't really necessarily care too much about what's coming back at him. That could also be a downfall because Nathaniel Wood does have good boxing and good volume, but I think he mixes in the wrestling here. I think he wears on the gas tank and ultimately gets a late stoppage here or decision. Give me Nathaniel Wood here to get it done in front of the London crowd.